Hello, my name is Jožik, and in this tutorial series I show you how to make a combat system using a finite state machine and the new input system from Unity. In the fifth part we will see how to add particle effects, how to add a camera shake, and how to add a ragdoll. If you find this video helpful, please consider subscribing so you don't miss my future videos. Now we're coming to the last step. We want to juice this up with some effects and camera shake. So for the effect I'm using a free package. I have these polygonal particles here from the asset store. When you import it you can find it under polygonal particle, assets, prefab, hit particles, and then it's this one here, upload high performance. Awesome, just drag it down to your prefabs and then you have it here. Now all you have to do is actually go to our health system here and create a new variable for this particle effect. So I go into my health system, create a new serialized field for the hit VFX, and let's create a new function with hit VFX, where at the hit position, when we get information why we are hitting, and then there we are instantiating this hit VFX with quaternion.identity so that it has this initial rotation, and we're destroying it after 3 seconds. Now this one is also called in the damage dealer function. So let's go to our damage dealer, or the enemy damage dealer. Actually you have the health system, and when we take some damage, let's write it up here, take damage, and we are going to play the hit VFX at a position, and we take this hit dot position. Hit dot point gives us the position of the raycast hit where it collides. Then in our enemy script we are doing exactly the same. It's like the enemy script has like the health system and its AI combined. You can also split these two systems in different scripts, but I'm keeping it very simple for this tutorial. Now we are creating also here the function. And similar then in the enemy damage class, we also here trigger on this hit VFX function in our damage dealer class after we have dealt some damage. So enemy dot hit VFX at the position hit dot position, or hit dot point, sorry. Now in the editor we just have to assign our hit VFX. So again, prefabs, our hit blood high performance, just drag and drop it, overwrite the prefab, and the same for the skeleton, where we have here hit VFX, just drag and drop it, overwrite the prefab, start, and let's see if the blood is flowing. No, there's some problems there with the distance, you can also fix, but you see that actually yes, hit animations are played. Same goes in this case. Bam. Now don't ask me why the skeleton is bleeding, it's just a game, okay? Next we will do a camera shake, and that's actually really simple. Well, I got the idea from a Code Monkey video. I will link that video in the description. And under our third-person cinemachine camera, we just create a new script like a camera shake. Open that script up. So, and here you can see already some different things. First one is that we're creating an instance for that camera shake, because we want just one copy of that game object, so only one instance in the scene. And it's really handy to use this one so that we can just have this static variable that we are calling in any script, and we can just say, okay, just shake now my scene, shake now my camera with this function. That's really convenient. We have variables like shaker time, or shaker time total, starting intensity. I mean, when you really want to understand a bit more of this function, just go and watch the video, just using it now for this effect. So what we can do now is just go to our health system, and whenever we take damage, we can also shake the camera with our shake camera function. So health system, and here we take some damage, we trigger the damage function, then we also go like camera shake.instance, and then shake camera, the function from before, where the first value is the intensity, so you can play a bit with the values there, and 0.2 is the time, so it's like really short. And the same for the enemy class. Enemy class, we take here our damage, just copy it in camera shake.instance.shake camera, also for intensity of 2 and for 0.2 seconds. Let's try this out. And voila, as you can see, as soon as we take some damage, the scene gets a bit shaked. So let's maximize this one. The scene gets a bit shaked. And as soon as I do some damage, it also have this little shake effect. So but it's only one skeleton, that's a bit boring. Let's create some more. How about 6 skeletons? Now that looks a bit more interesting, and they of course are hitting me now, but you can see there's also multiple damage, and as soon as we take some damage we get a bit interrupted. These are of course things that you can change if you want. I'm not hitting that one here. You can change this system like you want, and you can also spam our attacks. And so now we have a bit of game juice there with the VFX and the camera shake. There's just one thing missing, and that's a ragdoll. So how do we create a ragdoll? Now that is actually really simple. All we have to do is like make a duplicate of our skeleton warrior. Let's call it skeleton ragdoll. I am also taking these swords and shield and just moving it out of the, well, in prefab mode of course, moving it out from the skeleton, well, the bone, no, not the skeleton, bring it out there, yes, exactly like this. Now we have a skeleton ragdoll, and here are the shield and sword, still on the same position, but they are now no longer in the hands. The skeleton warrior, let's just make them for one time invisible. And just go here under 3D game object, Ragdoll, and it will create up this Ragdoll wizard. And let's see, now here we have the hips, which is the pelvis. Then we have left hips, no, here are the bones. Okay, left up leg, I think it's this one. This left leg, probably this one. Left foot, probably this one. And then, yeah, the toe are not important. Right up legs, this one. Right legs, this one. And right foot is this one. Left arm, so that's where it comes more like spine. Probably this spine, middle spine. Probably this one. Spine 2, spine 3. Left shoulder, left arm, left elbow. I don't know actually. Left forearm. Yes, left arm is this one. Left forearm. Probably this one. Oh, where's right shoulder, right arm there. And right forearm is this one. Head. Where's my head? Neck, head. So yeah, that's great. Of course we want to remove the ID component, the enemy script, the nav mesh agent and the animator, and voila, it works. Now you see that the sword and shield are floating there, so let's create also some physics on this one by hand. When you have a look here, you can see that there's a box collider and rigid body on each of these items, so we just go here and now create also box collider around this one. See, and a rigid body, and on the sword the same, also box collider and rigid body. Now don't forget that this is now a completely new prefab, so let's just drag it in there, original prefab, and this one gets then also override. Yeah, let's try it again, and voila, it works. Now that's actually the death animation that we want to play. So this is a complete new game object that we will just instantiate when the player dies, not the player, sorry, the enemy dies, and we will then destroy the current enemy object. Let's do this. Just go under the skeleton warrior here. The ragdoll we set then back to 0. Same here, skeleton ragdoll 0. Actually you can delete now the ragdoll here, and then the skeleton warrior enemy script. We go here under our game object for the VFX, just create this one, ragdoll, go down. Now when the player dies, destroy this, yes, and instantiate the ragdoll, and of course at the position of our current transform, and when it's rotated then also at the current rotation, transform.rotation, and that should do it. Now in the editor again, just go to our prefabs, skeleton ragdoll, skeleton warrior, we have the ragdoll, and overwrite it, apply. Now that is the problem. We have actually also overwritten our skeleton warrior, which you cannot see, the our sword and shields prefab. So that's why we have actually to do first the ragdoll and create a new prefab for the ragdoll instead of putting it down, and then I've overwritten them so they are now here. We have to set them back to the hand because currently they are not at the hand. So just do it really quick. We have here the right hand weapon slot, that's for the sword. Yeah, always in the prefab. Sword, right hand sword, and then the left hand for the large shield slot. Alright, now this is the skeleton prefab. Now actually he has it in his hand. So let's do some damage on me. Ouch. 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 Now it's my turn. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Awesome. Now there is actually a bug that we have to fix, and it's when the player now actually dies, then the game crashes. So when we set the health like on 3, so after 3 hits the player will die. So like 1, 2, 3, and then we see we don't have a reference to the game object that's called player. So we can fix that quite easily when we go to our skeleton warrior enemy script, open it up. We can see that in the start function we are searching for the reference player here, or the find game object with tag player, and then of course when the player game object gets destroyed then this update function is no longer valid, so we have to change that one. We just said we check if the player is actually unequal to null. So when he is null, then we will return out of this function. Let's see if it's now working. Now again we will take the 3 hits. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that was missing. So then the player gets destroyed, it's missing, but at least the game is not crashing. So here you can like restart the level or show some UI, game over and so on. But at least the game now is stable. However, it's not a good practice when we disable the player right in the beginning that the game is also crashing in that case. So let's check if that's okay. We see yes, without any player in the current game, it's still always working, not crashing. So that's good. Now in the last step, I just want to make a player ragdoll, so it looks better than just disappearing. That is really simple. We just duplicate the ybot prefab here. Let's go to prefab mode, ybot. Let's create a prefab and original prefab. Let's also duplicate that one so that the ybot is still there. And this one we are calling player ragdoll. Oh, it's already created, so I just delete this one really quick. Let's create a new one. So player ragdoll. Of course this is now not real ragdoll, there's still missing. So here we are deleting the animator, don't need that one. Apply all. And then we are using the 3D object ragdoll creator here. And let's see, player ragdoll. We have the first one is the pelvis, so that should be here hips. Then the left hips is then left up leg, left knee, left leg, and then right, no, that's right foot is there. Left foot is here, right hip is right up leg, right up, confusing. So the hips is the right up leg. Then I'm missing the right leg, there's it, right leg, right foot, so left arm. When we go left shoulder, here's the left arm, left elbow is left forearm, then right arm is under the right shoulder, right arm, right forearm for the right elbow, middle spin we take spine 2, and the head we find on the neck, there's the head. Okay, that's great. So that's it already. The player ragdoll is here. So we just have to instantiate the ragdoll when the player is dying. Let's go to our health system. Let's open it up. And here we are actually just copy pasting the code from the enemy script. So we have here the game object ragdoll, also inserting it here as a serialized field. Then this ragdoll we are instantiating before we are destroying the game object, and that's also the same line then here in the enemy script. Don't forget to save. Let's try it out if the ragdoll is working. Let's see in the editor, and yep, looks like it's working. Don't forget to assign the ragdoll. So on the prefabs, player ragdoll, apply all. Let's try it out. Oops, not the smartest AI. 1, 2, 3, and it works. Now here you can assign like a restart button to restart your game, or to add a scene where it shows game over, some UI. But now for this tutorial, that's it. So we can maximize the window, show the stats, that it's one all smooth, can deal some damage, dice, and let's spawn some multiple enemies. Now we can try this out with multiple enemies. They will all follow me and try to hit me. I can now try to kill them all before they kill me actually. Oops. And to show it's working, I die at the end. Really sad. So that's it for this video. We are already finished with the combat system tutorial series. For the next video I plan to do an interaction system, like to picking up items or opening up a chest, a door from a building and so on. For that we also using a finite state machine, so it will be in the same pattern than before. You can check out a really old video of mine where you can see already these systems in action. I thank you very much for watching and then see you in the next video. Bye!